Today we'll be setting up APIs in the new .NET 6 Web API template, and we'll be doing that without using controllers. Prerequisites for today's exercise are .NET 6, Preview 7, or later, and Visual Studio Code. We'll start by setting up our playground. So we're creating a directory for today's exercise, and we're navigating to it in our terminal. And we're also going to run .NET New Web API, by nature of having the newest version of .NET, which I can show off my version now. We'll have a template that's going to work for today's exercise. We'll open this up in Visual Studio Code and we'll clean it up. We'll start by deleting the weather forecast and controllers directories. We'll go into Program. We're going to start moving around some code in here. All right, let's replace add controllers with add endpoints API Explorer. We're also going to go down here, we're going to remove map controllers and use authorization. Today's exercise, we're not going to need those. And I prefer to have use Swagger outside of that. It's a fun service discovery tool, even in release mode. Cool. I think we're ready now. Let's add a get endpoint. So just above this app.run here, I'm going to do an app.mapGet. You'll note there's map a lot of things. Map delete, map post, map put. You can do all sorts of cool things there. But map get is what we're going to do for today's examples. Then we're going to do the route. So it's going to be an example endpoint, very specific. And then we add a delegate here. And so this delegate is going to simply return a string. So we're going to do return. This is, oh, I'm getting some help here. I don't need your help. Thank you. This is an example of a get endpoint. Really important that this is the message that's returned if somebody goes to this endpoint. And we can test that if we have the correct semicolon usage. Oh no, there we go. Save that. We can go back to our terminal instance and we can do a .NET run. Then we can go to localhost 5001 and Swagger. Look at our endpoint. Let's see what we got. /Swagger. Example, try it out, execute. And this is an example of a get endpoint. It's true. Stopping debugging. That was an incredibly fast way to get a get endpoint. Let's go back to code and let's see what we got. Maybe we add another endpoint that shows off dependency injection. We know we want to use best practices we can while also demonstrating. That way David Fowler doesn't yell at us on Twitter. Got to be the best we can. So let's create a new service. Create a demo service, new file, demoservice.cs. We'll get some dependency injection going. We'll do a public class demo service. And it's going to have very elaborate logic. We're going to have a method in it, and we're going to needlessly consume resources as a method. And that's just going to return a string. If we're going to do it really well, we should put our output to some variable. We'll spawn up a new variable for some reason. There we are. And then and we'll return that output. It's not best practices. Anyways, we'll go back over here and right here below builder, we're going to do a builder.services. This is that configure services like before in the previous pattern. And we'll add scoped our demo service. Great. It knows about it because I didn't do a namespace, so it's just open, happy. And then we can use that scoped service in a new map get. So just below our previous map get, we'll do another map get. This one's going to be our demo route. So if anybody goes to demo, that's where we're going to get that. And another delegate, but this time we're going to pass in that demo service. And then we're going to take that. And we're going to return the output of our service. Of course, we're going to needlessly consume resources. Yeah. This is good. Awesome. So now we can run once again. And we'll see. Demo is available now. We try it out. We've got non-zero memory consumption happening. That's great. We just injected a dependency using the new pattern just by including it in our little delegate here. I want to show something off here. We did dependency injection via just passing it in as a delegate parameter, but if we take a dependency with this using declaration on Microsoft, ASP.NET Core, MVC, we get access to a bunch of different attributes that can help add a little bit of clarity, just legibility here. Won't change functionality, but if we add from services here, it's telling us and it's telling the runtime, hey, this is coming from services. This is not a query parameter or anything like that. It's coming from services. And we can leverage that in a new get endpoint. So let's do a few different things here. Let's demonstrate action results. That was a previous pattern that existed where you can return OK, bad requests, stuff like that. And let's demonstrate from query, so we can use a query parameter. We'll do that in, you guessed it, a get endpoint. So we're going to do that from action results. That's going to be our route for action results. Super exciting. And in this, we're going to once again take in our service, demo service. And then we're going to also take in a query parameter from query. Which is going to be whether or not it's acceptable, this whole situation. Of course, now that I make it a real delegate, it's going to be happy with me. Excellent. So let's say that if this call is acceptable, right? This whole routing situation, the resource over here is acceptable, then it's okay. We can results.OK. The output of that service call, right? Needlessly consuming resources. But if it's not okay, oh, it's a method call. I didn't include that. Yeah. If it's not okay, then of course it's a bad request, right? That's a bad request, and frankly, it's not okay to needlessly consume resources. And we can run once again and verify that that does what we think it does, or .NET run. And once again, we can go to our Swagger, see action results, try it out. Is it acceptable? Absolutely. Non-zero memory consumption. Is it not acceptable? No, it's not okay to do that. Can't do that. You can do more with regards to this .NET minimal API setup, but I think that it's really interesting to see just how fast this is, and how quickly this dependency injection pattern works out, how readily this extends if you wanted to change up how you were putting things out here. But I think especially for the average use case, microservices, anything like that, you'll find this is going to be a lot faster than magically searching for a folder that's controllers, looking for things that extend a specific class and hoping that the magic works out perfectly. This will end up being, I think, far more intuitive, just going along with the simple app as it's defined here. So today we went over the .NET 6 Preview 7 minimal API template, set up a few get endpoints there, and looked at how you could extend that a bit, walked through dependency injection and how to use action results as a return. So from there, if you wanted to, you could leverage the, or look at the actual announcement for Preview 7, or you could look at, David Fowler has a minimal API repository example as well. And you could navigate over there, take a look at that. If not, congrats on a non-zero day.